All right, folks, look, I say this all the time, and I sound like a broken record. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't. Okay, let me start by just simply reiterating what Revelation chapter 13 tells us. Revelation chapter 13 tells us, and mind you, this is after we're raptured. But Revelation, I did it again. Revelation chapter 13 tells us that there will be a final Antichrist. He will set himself up in the temple. Yes, that is where that golden dome is. I'm not coordinated yet. There's where that golden dome is. They're going to rebuild the temple in that area. That's going to happen soon. They're already talking about it. He is going to, in the middle of the 70th week of Daniel, per Daniel chapter 9, he is going to set himself up in the temple, as it says in Revelation, and demand to be worshiped. And part of his demand to be worshiped is going to be very interesting. He is basically going to say that you must accept the mark of the beast. Now, the mark of the beast will be tattooed on the right hand or on the forehead, and it will be used as an indicator of compliance for whatever it is that he's asking. Now, we know that the Bible says you won't be able to buy or sell without that mark. And we also know that he will have tremendous control, totalitarian control over the people that he rules. We also know that if you accept the mark, you're dead eternally, okay? There's no hope for you. Now, what's even more interesting is the thought or the idea of people accepting a mark on their body that's an indicator or an indicative tool for the use of buying and selling is something that used to seem impossible or unfathomable to people. People would say, no way. Instantly, they'd withdraw themselves and say, I want nothing to do with this. This is the mark of the beast. This is evil. But yet now we're in a place where people are beginning to say, this makes perfect sense. Case in point, I'm going to show you this picture. I'm going to transition over. This is an advertisement picture of a Russian company, and I want you to take a very close look. Pay special attention to what is on their hands or what is on their wrist. It is a QR code. This QR code, by the way, is what they call a temporary QR code. It's a tattoo that will last on their arm for roughly 6 months or so, and they are getting better and better at it. It is 3D printed, believe it or not, and it's a very complicated mechanism that deploys this tattoo on their arm. Now, this tattoo, when scanned by a smartphone, by a cash register machine, by anything, will have all the information necessary about that person. Whether or not they have antibodies, whether or not they are compliant with all of the health regulations, whether or not they are safe to be around, as we're already beginning to think through. It is a passport, for lack of a better term, and it is designed to not allow you to buy or sell unless you've been scanned and verified. Folks, if this is not one direction closer to Revelation 13, I have no idea what is. We need to wake up. We need to understand. And by the way, let me say this. This was being proposed in Russia in June. And when it became very controversial because of the nature of what it was being used for, verification of a specific health status, Moscow withdrew pretty quickly, but yet they are still promoting this mechanism of verification. Folks, I'm telling you this right now. Make no mistake about it. Jesus is coming soon. We are watching this. And by the way, the world loves this. If you look at these young kids that are kind of happy about this, this is something that is becoming more and more popular. People are liking this because it's convenient, because it's easy. One of the greatest technologies that we saw in recent times were a watch. You could take your watch like this. It's a smart watch. You can have it scanned, and it will give all kinds of information about your money. You can buy things with it, that kind of a thing. But now they're beginning to realize watches can get stolen. Hardware can be duplicated, right? But you can't steal an arm. You can't steal that kind of a thing. And what's so unique about these things is they're not even scannable unless they are on your skin. That's how technical this stuff is. Folks, we are being prepared. When I say we, not me, because I'm getting raptured. I know you are too. You guys are definitely getting raptured. But the world is getting prepared for insanity. Believe me, this is becoming something that's making it easy. The thought process, it's not so far-fetched anymore. Jesus is coming soon. Be watchmen, be watchwomen. Get into the Word. Study what the Bible says. And guys, open your eyes to see the reality of what we already know is happening. This world is getting prepped for this final Antichrist, and Jesus is coming soon. And what we need to do is fight like we've never fought before for righteousness. We need to stand up in our public squares. We need to be people who are at school board meetings and getting involved in all of these things, not because we think we can make a change and win. If we do, great. We're doing it because we're in the final days, and God has called us to be faithful, all the more so as we see the day approaching.